Welcome to the Los Angeles Auto Show. Here's a collection of the majority of model year 2020 and 2021 vehicles you'll see for sale at dealer lots next year. In this video, the Edmunds team is going to walk you through what you should know about these cars, trucks, and SUVs, at least the most important and most significant ones. As always, if there's a vehicle that you're interested in that isn't in this video, go to Edmunds.com for more information. There you'll find your perfect car and how much you should pay for it.
Audi has been on a tear for the last couple years, redesigning everything in their portfolio. This year, they're going to be rolling out and filling out their lineup with higher performance S and RS variants. But they are bucking the SUV trend by reintroducing some wagons. In particular, the A6 Allroad is back. It offers the versatility of an SUV, but more driver engagement like a smaller car. The big news, though, is this mad dog, the RS6 Avant, with 600 horsepower and a matching six-figure price tag. It's an entirely different take on family hauling. Audi also brought a sportback version of the e-tron crossover. It brings with it all the goodness we like about the e-tron, but it takes a hit for practicality. This swooping rear roofline, it cuts into rear headroom by almost a full inch. There's also a pretty decent hit for cargo capacity too. But this shape is more aerodynamic and ends up gaining you about 10 miles of electric range. Also returning is my favorite Audi, the R8. For 2020, it gets a slight styling update, but it also gets a little bit of a horsepower bump for the base model. It is the best way to live out your Tony Stark fantasies.
Cool doors are still cool. The Bmw i8, there's nothing quite like it on the road. It looks like a supercar and has the practicality of a supercar, but doesn't really have the performance of a supercar. It's a hybrid after all, with like an 18-mile EV range. For 2020, it comes in this unique limited edition color scheme, and whether you get it in the 2+2 configuration or the Roadster configuration like this one, you can be guaranteed that there's nothing quite else like it on the road today. Let's take a second and just appreciate how good this M8 looks. It's quite pretty indeed, and it's hard to deny the appeal of a vehicle quite like this. The 8 Series and 8 Series Gran Coupe, and that's what the M8 is based off of, is a very appealing car, as it should be for a vehicle whose price starts at around $150. If you step up to the competition package, you get around 617 horsepower, and the base car has 600 horsepower. Very stout. Of course, the performance potential of a large luxury sedan like this are kind of dubious. If you want something a little bit more nimble and a little bit more sports car minded, there's the M2 CS behind me. Weird name aside, the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe has effectively become BMW's entry-level sedan, and it's a pretty attractive one too, even if you think all BMWs need to be rear-wheel drive. This one's available with all-wheel drive and power ranging from 228 to 301 horsepower if you get the M235i variant like this one here. It could give the Mercedes-Benz A-Class, this luxury sedan that we like a lot, a run for its money. It's a weird thing to say, but we live in a world where finding a 600 horsepower luxury SUV is actually pretty easy now, and it's going to be even easier come next year with the addition of the X5M and the X6M. Standard guys, these things make 600 horsepower, but in their competition trim, they push that figure to 617 horsepower. If that's not ridiculous enough, the front wheels are 21 inches in diameter, the rears are 22s. What a world we live in, folks. This is the BMW X3 Xdrive 30e, and that means it's the hybrid version of the X3. It goes on sale next year, and that's when we'll know more about its specs and figures for the United States. We do know now, though, it's based on the same motor, engine, and battery pack that you get in the 3 Series. That one's called the 330e. It's a bit less confusing. And it should come with a solid amount of EV-only range.
We've been seeing prototypes for a while, but now Bollinger is taking pre-orders with deliveries slated to begin sometime in 2021. This electric duo, the B2 truck and the B1 SUV, pack a ton of off-road features, removable doors, and some trick storage compartments. Think a big boxy Jeep Wrangler, but all electric and $125,000 to start. These are definitely niche vehicles, especially with Rivian bringing a more affordable electric truck and SUV to the market soon. but they sure look tough.
When you think of large three-row Cadillac SUVs, your mind probably wanders over to the Escalade, but you might want to consider the XT6. This new model from Cadillac starts at around mid-$50,000 range and packs a lot of standard safety, comfort, and technology features as well. It's also pretty dang handsome. Pretty spacious inside, especially the third row, which can seat real full-size adults. Alas, the third row takes up a crucial bit of cargo space, so you got to decide whether you're going to haul family or cargo. Cadillac has two new luxury sedans, the CT4 and the CT5. If you can guess which one's the big one and which one's the small one, congratulations, you at least have a basic level of deductive reasoning. These are appealing vehicles, one, because they're attractive, two, because Cadillac's problem has never been driving dynamics, so we expect them to be fun to drive. Three, Cadillac's addressed some of the bigger problems we've had with previous models, which is interior quality, namely the center entertainment touchscreens, which were a bit of a nightmare. You also get access to Cadillac's Super Cruise, which on some freeways provides legit hands-free driving experience. Taken all together, these become a very compelling option among other luxury sedans.
The 2021 Chevy Colorado is slightly refreshed with some new looks up front and new lettering on the rear tailgate, but it's got the same platform, same powertrains, and same interior as before. And unfortunately for the Colorado and its GMC brother, the Canyon, they still have to do battle with off-road kings like the Jeep Gladiator and Toyota Tacoma and the extremely well-rounded Honda Ridgeline. The Chevy Silverado is one of the most capable and one of the most popular vehicles on sale in America today. For 2020, it gets some new tech features like adaptive cruise control and a trailering camera system that can support up to 15 cameras. And under the hood, if you want, you can now get a 3-liter diesel. But even though it's significantly improved, the Silverado still falls behind the Ram and the Ford in our overall rankings. An old name with a new face, the Chevy Trailblazer is a small SUV that fits in between the Trax and the larger Equinox. It'll hit U.S. shores next year with two small 3-cylinder powertrains and the choice of two trim levels, this kind of sporty-looking RS and the more outdoorsy-oriented Active. Prices are going to start just below $20,000, and the Trailblazer should come with an impressive list of standard features. This is one of the biggest debuts of the year. The Chevy Corvette has gone mid-engine. It gets a 6.2-liter V8, 495 horsepower, and a dual-clutch gearbox. It goes up against rivals that are nearly double the price, and it's quickly becoming one of our favorite sports cars. While the looks might be up for debate, the performance is definitely settled, and this is a Corvette for the history books.
The Chrysler Pacifica is our number 2 ranked minivan, thanks to its surprisingly sonorous V6 and excellent cargo flexibility because of those stow-and-go seats. Of course, those seats are a little less comfortable than some competitors. We also appreciate the plug-in hybrid version's 30-plus miles of all-electric range. For this year, the Voyager nameplate is making a return, but it's essentially just a base model of the Pacifica. Feature loadout is really the only difference. Sadly, there's no wood trim option.
For 2020, Dodge is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Challenger with a special anniversary edition. It's got anniversary badges, new wheels, unique interior options, and a brand new color. Appropriate for a golden jubilee, Dodge calls it Gold Rush. We think they should have called it Bananiversary. For 2020, Dodge is offering a wide body package on its Hellcat and Scat Pack. It adds 3.5 inches, which makes room for wider tires. Don't worry, you can still spin them. If you want a slimmer, less aggro Charger, there are plenty of trim options with the 6-cylinder and 5.7 Hemi, so you can still enjoy the comfortable interior, the excellent styling, and the great infotainment system that keeps the Charger a top 5 in our rankings.
By far, the biggest announcement from Ford is the all-new, all-electric Mustang Mach-E. This, however, is no muscle car. It's actually an SUV about the size of a Ford Escape. It'll offer the choice of rear or all-wheel drive and 2 battery sizes. It'll be available beginning the fall of 2020 with prices starting around $40,000. If you want to know more about this vehicle, you can check out Edmunds editor-in-chief Alistair Weaver's excellent video walk-around. It's been a big year for Mustang, from the new Mach-E to the new high-performance package for the 4-cylinder EcoBoost, which makes it incredibly dynamic. Oh, and this subtle 760 horsepower Shelby GT500, it's new too, joining the Shelby GT350 flat plane crank V8. The Mustang is currently Edmunds' #1 ranked muscle car. Can't imagine why. The Escape has been overhauled for 2020, replete with sportier exterior styling, a roomier interior, and 4 new powertrains. 2 turbocharged engines, plus a hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant. The sportiest Escape, packing 250 horsepower, is estimated to return 26 miles per gallon combined, while the hybrid is rated at 41 miles per gallon with up to 30 miles of electric range if you opt for the plug-in version. There's a lot riding on this new Escape, since Ford will soon be getting out of the sedan-making business, which leaves just this and the extra small EcoSport in their entry-level vehicle portfolio. We were thrilled when we heard the all-new 2020 Explorer was returning to a rear-drive-based platform. For SUVs, that generally amounts to better towing and driving dynamics, which the new Explorer delivers in spades. What we weren't expecting was a comparatively high price. Prices range anywhere from the mid-30s to upper 50s, which is a bit hard to stomach when you see what the competition is offering for thousands less. The Expedition became our favorite non-luxury full-size SUV shortly after it was redesigned for 2018. It won us over with its exceptional passenger comfort, user-friendly tech, and its ability to tow over 9,000 pounds. For 2020, updates are rather light, with the biggest news being Ford's Copilot 360, which is a suite of advanced driver aids that's now standard across all Expedition trims. The Ranger was reintroduced to the US market last year to a mixed reception. For 2020, Ford is offering a new FX2 package on all rear-drive Rangers at any trim level. It includes an electronic locking diff, off-road tires, an off-road tuned suspension, an off-road screen within the gauge cluster, and body decals. Now for $595, that's a bargain. Sure, you don't get the advanced terrain management and trail control that you would in an FX4 package in an all-wheel drive Ranger like you see here, but you at least get the off-road looks and some of the capability for less than half the package cost.
The 2020 Genesis G90 looks pretty different on the outside, but under the skin, a lot stays the same. That's not actually a bad thing. The Genesis G90 is a big, plush luxury sedan with available executive seating in the back and a really excellent stereo. The new exterior design is handsome, and I mean, just check out these excellent wheels. On the inside, you'll find upgraded trim like some nice open pore wood and an infotainment system that now supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a welcome addition. And the Genesis G90 is significantly less costly than its top competitors.
Redesigned just a year ago, the Gmc Sierra 1500 gets some significant tech updates for 2020. It's got available adaptive cruise control now, as well as a trailering camera system that supports up to 15 cameras. Under the hood, you can also now get a 3-liter diesel powertrain. And to top it all off, it wins our tailgate wars with the 6-way power-folding multi-pro rear tailgate. The Sierra 2500 is completely redesigned for 2020, and it uses its little brother, the 1500, as a template. It also gets the multi-pro rear tailgate, along with updated technology, an updated interior, and improved towing and hauling capability. Unfortunately for the 2500, it has really strong rivals like the Ram and the Ford, so it's got an uphill battle.
There are no significant changes for the Honda Accord in 2020, but that doesn't stop us from recommending this extremely well-executed sedan. It's stylish, fun to drive, and hits big with utility. A lot of its competitors have been updated or redesigned since this car came out, but the Accord still shines brightest in its class. The Honda Civic is Edmunds' top-ranked small sedan, and yes, we know this is a two-door SI. We'll talk about that in a second. The Civic lineup gets small additions throughout the model range. For example, the hatchback gets additional sound deadening, and the SI, like this one here, gets a shorter final drive, which makes acceleration feel a bit more lively. With prices ranging between $20,000 to $30,000, there's a Civic for most shoppers, and all of them are an easy recommendation. The big addition to the Honda CR-V this year, we should mention too, it's our top-ranked small SUV, is a hybrid model. Now, we don't know much about the technical details yet, other than it uses the drivetrain of the Honda Accord hybrid. It has 212 horsepower, though fuel economy numbers haven't been released yet, but if we had to guess, it'd be around 40 mpg. The rest of the CR-V lineup has some nice additions too. Specifically, the base engine is no longer available, so all you have is the 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and that's the one we'd recommend anyway. The Honda Passport came out last year and quickly garnered a lot of attention from us. In fact, it's our top-ranked two-row midsize SUV, and for good reason. Essentially, it's a Honda Pilot without the third row and with a bit shorter length, so you get all the utility of that vehicle without, of course, the seating in a very compelling package. There are no new changes for 2020, and that's okay because it's still a really good car. The Honda Ridgeline carries over into next year largely unchanged, and it's still our #1 ranked midsize pickup truck. Wait, come back, look, we get it. If you're really angry because it's not a real truck, just get a Gladiator or get a Tacoma and bring it in. It's gonna be okay, breathe.
The 2020 Hyundai Kona is our top-rated extra small SUV for its peppy handling and acceleration, its comfortable interior and user-friendly technology. The addition of adaptive cruise control for this year only makes it better. The one drawback, if maximum cargo capacity is your top priority, it might be worth checking out a competitor. The Hyundai Palisade is an upscale midsize three-row SUV with plenty of room in all three rows and lots of comfort and technology features. It would have upset the segment and stolen the top spot in our rankings if not for its corporate twin, the Kia Telluride. That's not a knock against the excellent Palisade. Which you prefer between the two really comes down to what kind of personality you want from your vehicle, with the Palisade offering more of the on-road luxury vibe between the pair. The 2020 Hyundai Sonata has been totally redesigned and it's got a sleek new look. I mean, just check out these daytime running lights. The other thing it's got is a ton of new features. The new Sonata really is a showcase for Hyundai's next generation of technology. You'll get the ability to use your cell phone as a key. You can pull the Sonata in and out of parking spaces remotely. And on the interior, you get this big new infotainment screen and a digital display instead of a traditional gauge cluster. If you want the latest features from your sedan, the Sonata should be on your list.
The Jeep Wrangler is one of the most capable off-road vehicles on sale today. And in other news, the sky is blue and water is wet. This current generation is more comfortable, high-tech, and user-friendly than ever before. And while there's some compromises made along the way for off-road capability, this is the most livable Wrangler that Jeep has ever made. And for 2020, you can even get one with a diesel. For someone who doesn't want to spend Wrangler money but wants the iconic Jeep looks, the Renegade is a good choice. It's got a roomy interior and a high-tech user interface, and it's got more off-road chops than most of the lifted hatchbacks in this segment. But if you want something that's quick or something that's quiet, we'd steer you in another direction. Have you always wanted a Jeep Wrangler but you also needed a pickup truck? Well, the Gladiator will solve that problem. It's based on the same platform as the Wrangler, so it's got much of the off-road capability, but it's got that pickup truck bed in the back, so it's got a bunch of added utility. It's only our number 2 ranked midsize pickup truck because it's behind the super practical Honda Ridgeline. The Jeep Cherokee is in one of the most competitive segments on the market, compact crossovers. It goes up against well-rounded vehicles like the Mazda CX-5 and the Honda CR-V. And while it isn't our favorite in the segment, we do like it for its impressive off-road capability and its high-tech interior with a comfortable highway ride.
The Kia Seltos is new to the US, but it's been on sale for just about a year in other parts of the world. It sits just between the Kia Soul and the larger Kia Sportage in terms of price and size, starting right around $22,000. Like a lot of subcompact crossovers, it benefits from the convenience of an SUV, but it's in a smaller package that's easier to drive and more economical. The Seltos distinguishes itself with a slightly taller ride height and available all-wheel drive, which isn't available on the Soul or the Nero. That means you can do some pretty light off-roading, but you will have to wait until spring to get one. Now, you wouldn't think you'd have to wait to get yourself a Telluride because it's been on sale for a while, but you'd be wrong. Apparently, Kia can't make them fast enough to meet demand. It's really no surprise because the Telluride is our favorite SUV. And not just mid-size 3-row SUV, it's our favorite SUV, period. With a lot of power, tons of features, and an incredibly refined interior, if you need something this big, put it on your short list. The Stinger is mostly unchanged for 2020, but it does add a new mid-grade GTS trim. At a time when sleek sedans seem to be eclipsed by mass-market SUVs, the Stinger is a refreshing detour with the convenience of a hatchback, strong performance, and, as any Kia, a very generous warranty. Who says fun is dead?
The Defender is back in the US. Ta-da! This is it. We covered the Defender during its international launch, but it is very cool to see it here at home. 2020 Defender promises strong off-road performance and lots of customization options, including 2 different engine choices. Plus, it looks cool. I think it looks cool. Do you think it looks cool? I think it looks cool. The original Range Rover Evoque was a little bit of a weirdo with a love it or hate it design. For the redesigned 2020 Evoque, Land Rover has gone a little more mainstream. It's bigger for more legroom, and it has new interior tech like a dual screen infotainment system. There's also a hybrid powertrain option. I think it looks like a smaller Discovery Sport.
Lexus took the wraps and the top off the 2021 LC500 convertible. We thought the coupe looked great, but it seems as if the LC was destined for roofless design from the beginning, which is another way of saying that it looks fantastic. There are 471 horses generated from a 5-liter V8, which also happens to make wonderful sounds. This convertible will make it all the better to enjoy them. Lexus says the LC's top will open and close in about 15 seconds and can operate at speeds of up to 31 miles per hour. So you're not stuck playing stoplight roulette. This topless LC is set to go on sale next summer. Lexus's most popular SUV, and my new favorite because it has a surfboard on the roof, is the RX. For 2020, it receives a slight refresh with new front and rear styling and a revised suspension for sharper handling. The 2020 RX is also the first in Lexus's line to offer Android Auto smartphone integration alongside Apple CarPlay, and those can be projected on a new optional 12.3-inch touchscreen. Thankfully, this replaces the old and clunky system with the remote touch joystick, which we weren't big fans of.
Without a doubt, Corsair is a much better name than MKC, which was Lincoln's previous small SUV. The Corsair is based on the Ford Escape, but Lincoln has worked hard to distinguish itself from Ford with Lincoln-specific design options, new tech, and different engine options, including a plug-in hybrid. Then, of course, there are those great Lincoln interiors. It's not a pair of sunglasses, and it has little in common with the Aviator of the early 2000s. The 2020 Lincoln Aviator is based on a Ford Explorer, but with its own exterior and interior. If you've seen Lincoln's interiors recently, you know that's a good thing. Its quiet cabin and turbocharged V6 make it a powerful family cruiser. And there's a plug-in hybrid option for even more power and better fuel economy. What a world we live in. If you've got the garage space and you want to fill it with yacht-like luxury, the Lincoln Navigator is our pick for top boat. Our pick for most highly rated large luxury SUV. Ever since its introduction, the Lincoln Navigator has consistently topped our ratings because of its gorgeous interior and impressive performance. For 2020, safety features become standard, but what hasn't changed is the Navigator's impressive tow rating. 8,600-pound capacity. You can tow a boat with this boat.
If it seems like there are a lot of weird half sizes between conventionally sized SUVs, you're not imagining things. This is the latest from Mazda, the CX-30. It sits between the slightly smaller CX-3 and slightly larger CX-5, with the starting price right around 23 grand. It also pushes Mazda's styling evolution just a little bit further. While other companies are going with sharp, deep creases, Mazda is going with these graceful, smoothed out arches that set it apart from anything else on the road. As a Mazda, we also expect the CX-30 to drive better than its rivals from Honda and Toyota.
Mini is jumping in the EV game with the hardtop two-door Cooper SE. This isn't a Tesla killer. This is more of an alternative to more affordable city runabouts like the basic Nissan Leaf or the Volkswagen e-Golf. Prices should start under $30,000 and the EPA range is likely to come in around 120 miles. It is more stylish. Adding that Mini personality to the battery electric formula might just make this a compelling choice for consumers looking for an electric car.
The GLE was an instant hit for Mercedes-Benz, immediately climbing to best in class. It has all the things you want from a Mercedes SUV, a refined interior, tons of comfort, lots of tech, but this time around, they dropped something crazy on us. It's the GLE 63S from AMG with 603 horsepower. That's just bonkers for the, wealthy parents with racing aspirations, baby. And if you need more space, they also rolled out the GLS AMG version with similar output. What they didn't roll out though is the top-of-the-line GLS Maybach edition. We don't have full specs on it yet, but we can guarantee it is going to be over the top in every way.
The Nissan Rogue doesn't receive any significant changes for 2020, but it remains a highly attractive vehicle to shoppers looking for an inexpensive compact SUV with a lot of interior space. That's really what you get with this SUV, that and comfortable seats. Now, the driving experience kind of pales in comparison to our favorite SUV in the segment, the Honda CR-V, but the Rogue delivers the basics. This slightly smaller Rogue Sport gets some small changes for 2020, especially a different look. Front and rear bumpers are updated, and Nissan's suite of safety features is now standard on the base trim. If we're honest, the Nissan Titan has felt a bit dated lately, but that's because Ford, Chevy, and Ram have introduced new generations of their respective trucks. The Titan's been updated for 2020 though, fortunately. Its powertrain gets a new 9-speed automatic transmission, and its 5.6-liter V8 gets a small power bump too, now 400 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. There's additional standard safety equipment and an available 9-inch center touchscreen. With a starting price from the low to mid $30,000 range, that makes the Titan a pretty compelling value. With 2020 comes the introduction of a new generation of the Nissan Sentra, and it actually looks pretty good too. It's a bit wider and a bit lower in height than the outgoing generation. The interior gets special mention too. It's pretty attractive. A lot of standard safety features like collision mitigation and all that stuff. Base engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder with about 150 horsepower. Look forward to our full review when we get our hands on one early next year. Porsche's first electric vehicle looks to be a real stunning entry. The Taycan promises the performance of a real sports car, but also the driving experience of an EV. It's a really fascinating combination of the two. It's available in a couple different motor and battery configurations, from the Turbo S, which has eye-watering acceleration and top speed and price, down to this more realistic 4S, which starts at about $100,000, has over 500 horsepower, and could be a real competitor to the Tesla Model S. While the most recent generation of the Porsche Cayenne was introduced last year, this year we have the addition of the Cayenne Coupe. If you haven't been paying attention to luxury SUVs for a while, the modern trend with coupes trade a little bit of rear headroom and cargo space for a more swoopy roofline that mimics what you would find on an actual two-door coupe. The Cayenne Coupe costs a little bit more than the equivalent Cayenne, and it gets all the same trim levels, so you can get a Cayenne Coupe Turbo and Turbo S e-hybrid. With all the hubbub around the new Porsche Taycan EV, you may forget that there's actually a new generation of Porsche 911, and you may also not be able to tell from the outside too, because it doesn't look that different. It's more apparent inside when you see the new gauge cluster and all the touch-sensitive controls on the center console. When I drove this car earlier this year, I really enjoyed it because, duh, it's a 911. Starting at around $100,000, this car gives you really more than you could ever need from a sports car.
The Ram 1500 is our #1 ranked full-size pickup truck. It's got a really comfortable interior, a high-tech user interface, and for 2020, it gets a new diesel powertrain added to the lineup that can tow over 12,000 pounds. And it enters the tailgate wars with a new 60/40 split-open rear tailgate thing.
The Ascent is the largest vehicle that Subaru makes, offering 3 rows of seating and space for 7 to 8 passengers. While it isn't at the top of our list for mid-size 3-row SUVs, we do like it for its standard all-wheel drive, its powerful turbocharged engine, and its crisp and responsive touchscreen infotainment system. For 2020, the Ascent adds a standard rear seat reminder alert and power folding side view mirrors. The Subaru Forester was redesigned just last year and offers a great blend of many things, from a comfortable cabin and ride to strong safety and tech features. There's even a new lane centering function which gets added to its standard list of driving aids. All it really needs is just a little more power, and we'd be big fans. The word legacy has different meanings, but Subaru's looking to leave a positive impression with their new midsize sedan. For 2020, the Legacy has been redesigned and is still the only one in the class to offer standard all-wheel drive. An optional 260 horsepower 2.4-liter engine should help draw some fans, as well as Subaru's comprehensive suite of advanced driver aids, which come standard. The Outback is Subaru's midsize SUV and one of our perennial favorites, which some might mistake for a tall wagon. But don't let appearances deceive you. This wagon could likely outperform many so-called SUVs off-road due to its standard all-wheel drive and surprisingly generous ground clearance. For 2020, the Outback has been fully redesigned and is offered with 2 engines, one of which is a 260 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder. There's also a new 11.6-inch tablet-style interface for the infotainment system, which just looks awesome.
While Tesla wasn't at the show floor, company CEO Elon Musk unveiled the bizarre-looking Cybertruck. Lofty targets include a max tow rating of over 14,000 pounds, payload of over 3,500 pounds, and 0 to 60 mile-an-hour acceleration in less than 2.9 seconds in the most powerful version. While Tesla has announced pricing and is taking pre-orders, this thing is still 2 years away from delivery, at a minimum. The Cybertruck can make you forget all about the Model Y, but it should be available sometime during 2020. It's an SUV-ish version of the Model 3, promising similar range, performance, a little more cargo space and usability, and a slightly higher price tag. We have one on order. We've owned a Model 3 for a few years now, yet answering the question of what's new for this year is difficult because Tesla doesn't do updates like any other automaker. It's more like your phone, where you wake up one morning and it has new features. This experience is unlike any other car out there, and combined with the Model 3's many strengths, it makes easily for one of the most compelling EV sedans you can buy. What's left to say about the Model S and Model X? Well, we really like the S. At the time of this recording, it has a simple ordering process, great range, and ridiculous, or rather ludicrous, acceleration. And the Model X? Well, the doors look neat, but severely limit the utility part of SUV. But hey, at least it's fast.
Hey guys, guess what? There's a new Toyota Mirai and it's not ugly, right? This sleek sedan is going to hit our markets at the end of 2020, and it's a welcome departure from, let's say, the awkward styling of its predecessor. It's also going to be rear-wheel drive, and Toyota claims it'll have 30% more range. That means you can go up to 400 miles on a single tank. I'm not fully sold on the future of hydrogen, especially when you consider that electrification is far more accessible. For example, Toyota's best-selling vehicle gets a new hybrid model in this, the Rav4 Prime. This plug-in hybrid gets an 83 horsepower boost over the standard hybrid, which should push it to 60 miles an hour, a full 2 seconds quicker. Toyota also claims it'll return 39 miles of electric-only range. When it goes on sale in the summer, it'll only be offered in sporty SE and XSE trims with all-wheel drive. We recommend the hybrid RAV4 over the standard RAV4 and expect this to be even better.
The Volkswagen Atlas comes in 5th place in our midsize 3-row SUV rankings. It was knocked down a couple of spots this year by the introduction of the Hyundai Palisade and Kia Telluride. Still, the Atlas is a super roomy and practical SUV for families. It's just a bit down on power and personality. For 2020, Volkswagen is trying to kick the personality up a notch with the introduction of the Atlas Cross Sport. This is a more aggressively styled 2-row version of the Atlas with a sportier personality.
Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, and for more information about your favorite car, visit Edmunds.com. There you'll find your next car and how much you should pay for it.